Hi, thank you so much for meeting with me. Let me tell you, Bob is just a delight to have in class. He's such a good friend to so many of the students in the classroom. Sophie's especially close with Bob and was so worried when he was out sick on Monday. I hope he's feeling better. Bob is a bright boy who is confident in his language arts abilities. He always tells me how much he loves to read, even though his favorite subject is recess. Throughout our month together, Bob and I have done several assessments to gauge his developmental thinking, developmental levels in comprehension reading and writing. This information has helped me see where he understands things and where we could help bridge the gap to get him to where he needs to be. These assessments have also allowed me to document his progress and shows improvement in these subjects. So there's a few areas that I've noticed that Bob is especially strong in. Bob has a good knowledge and a base of sight words. He was able to correctly identify 36 out of 36 sight words during our high frequency word test assessment, which I found very impressive. Bob also shows a strong sense of fluency when he reads. Throughout our 3 running records, he maintained an accuracy rate of 95 to 96%. This shows that he is easily able to use his knowledge of sight words and has a repertoire of decoding strategies to use when it comes to a word that he's not familiar with. This also puts him at a independent reading level, which is great for a kindergartner. He is making lots of progress and will be able to read on his own soon. So Bob is also a quick reader. During our running records, I also observed his word count per minute, and Bob was able to maintain a reading rate of 45 to 57 words per minute, and this just fluctuates on the type of book, but overall, very strong. So there are a few instruction recommendations that I can give you for each of his strengths. So for sight words, at home you can help Bob continue to learn his sight words by writing down several words of Bob's choice each week and displaying them somewhere in the home to create your own little word wall. This could be in his bedroom, like just a corner of his room, or just on one of his doors. And you could even label some of the objects in the room to help him make connections between the word and the object to even build more meaning. And in the classroom, we'll continue to help Bob learn to sight words by providing high-frequency word test assessments and continuing our direct instructions in word work of the words that he's not familiar with. So we want to assess, then directly instruct. We also help Bob acquire several spelling techniques to help build that gap. In his fluency, to help Bob advance that, we will be continuing to increase the amount of writing done in the classroom and continue to offer opportunities for free time reading. We have set time for silent reading, but we want to find more time for them to have free time reading just by their choice. And then at home, continue to offer many opportunities for Bob to choose books of many different topics and structure. This will help him be familiar with lots of different texts and just continue his repertoire. For speed, to help Bob with his speed and prosody, in class we are looking forward to incorporating Reader's Theater into our curriculum. And if you don't know what Reader's Theater is, it occurs when the students do not memorize their lines, but they simply focus on reading their lines while using vocal expression and fluency to convey meaning. And then at home you can help Bob feel comfortable and confident in his pacing and speed by trying choral reading together to mix up his usual reading. So choral reading is when you both read lines of a text together. You can vary the speed and fluidity as you will go along. And then I did notice there were a couple areas that we could help Bob really get going with. So Bob had a little difficulty discerning the middle part of a story in our 3 retelling record assessments. So Bob was able to retell several important aspects of the beginning and end of a story, but he struggled to give more than one part of the middle. And another aspect for improvement with Bob would be punctuation and structural aspects of writing. Throughout the month, I collected and observed several of Bob's writing pieces to observe his language level, message quality, and directional principles. While he scored proficient in the categories, his directional principle score could be improved easily if we work on ensuring that Bob remembers to use spaces between his words. To help Bob gain a better understanding of sequencing, we can try some storyboard activities. Using books from class, I will create laminated copies of the illustrations. After Bob is familiar with the book, I will pass out the illustrations and he can practice putting the pictures in order. This will help him see the sequencing. And then, in addition to the books that we send home weekly, I will ensure that I send home storyboard pictures to go along with them. Together, you guys can work on putting them in order and creating your own story with the illustrations before reading. This way, he can see that there are specific parts of the story and then they go in an order. And then you guys can talk about how this is the beginning, this is the middle, and this is the end. And then, interactive writing. And this is a concept to help him with the structure of his writing. So you could try composing text together, so decide on a message to write and then take turns dictating the message on chart paper or whiteboard. And remind Bob of spacing, capital letters, and punctuation. Just be sure to really drill those in, oh, I liked your capital letter, and let's not forget to have a space here. And then you can invite Bob to read and reread the message aloud. And then in school we have a morning message every day. So each day the children choral read the message, and then we will spend a few minutes counting the words and going over the familiar sight words. But to help Bob and many of the other students gain a better understanding of punctuation, we will choose punctuation as a focal point in our debriefing of the morning message. And overall, Bob is on grade level and is making a lot of progress this year. I hope that we can continue to collaborate together and find ways to keep Bob moving forward. His positive attitude and confidence in school will help him try new things and ensure that he'll try his best. He's proficient in reading and writing and on track to finish this year strong. This summer, let's focus on keeping the ball rolling and finding ways to provide Bob with many opportunities to interact with language. Thanks again so much for coming, and I hope you guys have a safe trip home.